This video is about the mom walked into the subway station and a rich stranger returned her lost scarf. If this story touches your heart, please mention where you are watching from in the comments. Please like the video and share your thoughts in comments. Leela Hayes adjusted the strap of her tote bag as she stepped into the bustling subway station, a world of noise enveloping her. The clang of trains and the murmur of multiple conversations danced in her ears, a chaotic symphony she had grown accustomed to. She had just finished a long day at the art gallery where she worked, surrounded by paintings that spoke to her in ways words could not. As she navigated through the crowd, her thoughts wandered to the small birthday party she was planning for her son, Jamie. He was turning 7 next week, and she wanted it to be special. Yet, with the weight of her limited budget, each idea felt like an extravagant dream. "Mommy, look, can I have that?" Jamie's excited voice echoed in her mind, and she smiled faintly, thinking of the bright red balloon he had wanted last year, a symbol of his unblemished joy. Lost in her thoughts, she nearly brushed past a man sitting on a bench, his focus on a book, the pages worn, but his expression lost in their depths. Just as she was about to walk on, a sudden gust of wind swirled through the station, and she felt a cold draft against her neck. Leela instinctively reached up, only to find her favorite scarf, an intricate piece, woven with shades of blue and green, the gift from her late grandmother, was missing. Panic surged through her. That scarf had been a comfort through countless chilly mornings and even chillier nights. "Excuse me," she called out, turning back to the man. He looked up, his dark hair tousled, and for a moment their eyes locked. Leela's heart skipped. There was something striking about his strong features, a chiseled jaw, deep-set eyes that held a hint of humor nestled in their depths. He rose from the bench, offering a gentle smile, and that was when she noticed the scarf draped over his arm. "Is this yours?" he asked, holding it up like a trophy. "Yes, thank you." Leela's relief washed over her, a warmth spreading in her chest as she stepped closer. "I thought I lost it for good." He chuckled softly, the sound low and inviting. "It seems to have a penchant for dramatic escapes. I am Ivan, by the way." "Leela," she replied, her cheeks warming slightly as she took the scarf from him. Their fingers brushed, and a jolt of electricity coursed through her, catching her off guard. Leela quickly withdrew her hand, looking down at the scarf, feeling ridiculous for the flutter in her chest. "So, a fan of accessories, are we?" he teased, tilting his head slightly as he observed her. She laughed lightly, pushing back the strands of hair that had fallen into her eyes. "You could say that. This scarf. It was my grandmother's. It has a bit of sentimental value." His expression shifted, softening as if he understood the weight of her words. "Wow, those are the best kinds of things to hold on to. They remind us of where we come from." Leela met his gaze, something in the depths of those eyes resonating with her. She felt an inexplicable connection, but the weight of her responsibility settled in her mind, pulling her back to reality. "Yes, it is easy to forget sometimes." "Life is busy," Ivan said, leaning against the wall, his casual demeanor contrasting with the energy of the station. "Do you work nearby?" "I do, at the gallery on 5th, she replied, her voice steady. "Just closed an exhibition, so I am a bit frazzled." "Art, that is fascinating," he responded, genuine interest lighting up his features. "What do you enjoy most about it?" Leela's eyes brightened, and for a moment she forgot her worries. "I love the stories behind each piece. Every brushstroke has a tale to tell. Like our lives, right?" he mused, his gaze piercing yet inviting. We all a collection of stories." "Exactly." Leela felt the warmth blossom in her chest, encouraging her to share more. "I think my favorite pieces are the ones that evoke emotion, you know, the ones that make you feel something deep inside." "Like this moment," he said, a hint of playful mischief in his tone. Her breath hitched, the air between them thickening with unspoken tension. "Yes, I suppose so," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "Do you often lose things, or just sentimental scarves?" She smiled, a light laugh escaping her lips. "Oh, I've misplaced plenty. Just last week, I lost my keys on the subway. I had to call a cab to get home." "Now that sounds like a nightmare," he said, his eyes sparkling with amusement. "I can imagine a parent's commute is quite an adventure." Leela bit her lip, the mention of her son momentarily grounding her. "It can be. Jamie keeps me on my toes. He is incredibly curious, always asking questions." "That is great. Curiosity is a sign of intelligence," he remarked, genuine admiration in his voice. "Or a sign of mischief," she added, chuckling softly. "I am constantly navigating a minefield of his wild ideas." "Sounds like you need a partner in crime," he teased gently. Her heart raced at the implication, and Leela felt uncharacteristically bold. If you're re-offering your services, I'd consider it, but I should warn you, it can get messy. Messy doesn't scare me. I've had my share of chaos, he replied, his tone serious yet playful as his gaze lingered on her, silently gauging her reaction. Leela felt a blush creep up her cheeks, and she quickly changed the subject, glancing away. So, what do you do? I am in finance, he admitted, shrugging as if the title itself didn't hold much weight. It is not nearly as exciting as art, but it pays the bills. I can imagine, she replied, a hint of sarcasm dancing in her voice. Do you love it? A shadow crossed his face, an imperceptible shift that made her curious. It has its moments, he said slowly, avoiding her gaze. But it is not my passion. Then what is? She pressed gently, her heart tugging at the sight of his uncertainty. Ivan hesitated, a flicker of vulnerability crossing his features. I used to paint, actually, lost myself in it when I was younger, but somewhere along the way I got caught up in the practical side of life. Practicality is overrated, she said, her voice firm yet gentle. Art can be a lifeline. Or a distraction, he countered, the tension thickening between them. What if it doesn't pay the bills? Life isn't just about bills, she replied softly, their eyes meeting once more. It is about feeling alive, chasing what makes your heart race. For a moment, the world around them faded into the background, their connection deepening. But then the sharp sound of a train arriving broke the spell, and Leela realized the crowd was parting. I should as she started, her heart sinking at the thought of leaving. Wait, Ivan exclaimed, his brows furrowing with concern. Can I get your number? I mean, if you're interested in, sharing stories again? Leela hesitated, a rush of conflicting emotions swelling within her. She longed to say yes, to explore whatever this connection was, yet the reality of her busy life loomed over her. Sure, she finally replied, feeling a thrill at the prospect, yet a weight of dread settled in her stomach. She quickly recited her number, not missing the way his eyes lit up as he saved it on his phone. Perfect, he said, a playful grin spreading across his face. I'll text you about our future adventures. Just be warned, chaos might ensue. Leela laughed, feeling lighter. I'll brace myself. As the train doors began to close, she stepped back, feeling a strange mix of exhilaration and apprehension. Take care, Ivan. Same to you, Leela, until next time. With a final glance, she turned, heart pounding and mind racing, already anticipating the next chapter of their story. Little did she know that their lives were intertwined in ways she couldn't yet understand, and the journey ahead was filled with more than just art and scarves. Leela Hayes felt a mix of excitement and trepidation as she stepped out of the subway station, clutching her precious scarf tightly. The late afternoon sun bathed the city in a golden glow, momentarily lifting her spirits. Yet, as she walked towards the gallery, her thoughts turned back to Ivan. What a strange encounter that was. She replayed their conversation in her mind, the way he listened intently, his eyes reflecting an understanding that felt almost profound. But then there was the reality of her life, her responsibilities as a single mother, the endless cycle of work and home, and Jamie's needs. Mommy, you home? Jamie's cheerful voice cut through her thoughts as she opened the door to their small apartment. His face lit up with the kind of joy only a child could possess, and she felt the day's weight begin to lift. Hey, buddy. Leela knelt down and engulfed him in a warm hug, closing her eyes for a moment. In his innocent embrace, the complexities of adulthood faded away. How was your day? Awesome, I drew a big monster, look. He pulled away eagerly, revealing a colorful crayon drawing taped to the refrigerator. Leela smiled, her heart swelling with pride. Wow, that is terrifying, you should name him, she said, ruffling his hair. Jamie beamed, a mischievous glint in his eyes. I was thinking Scary McFrightface, he exclaimed, and they both burst into laughter. Just then, Leela's phone buzzed on the kitchen counter, snapping her back to reality. She glanced at the screen in an unknown number. Her heart raced as she remembered Ivan's promise to text. Is it someone cool? Jamie asked, peering over her shoulder, his interest piqued. Just work, she replied quickly, though a part of her wished it would differ. She opened the message and her breath caught. Asterisk K Leela. This is Ivan from the subway. Just wanted to say I enjoyed our chat. Hope you're bracing yourself for chaos. Asterisk. A smile spread across her face. She couldn't help it, there was something magnetic about Ivan. Who is it? Jamie leaned in closer. A friend, she said casually, unable to suppress the hint of thrill in her voice. How about we make dinner together? Yeah, can we mix spaghetti? He suggested, already racing to the pantry. As they cooked, Leela's mind wandered to Ivan. She thought about how easy it felt to talk to him, how he had looked at her like she was more than just a mother struggling to make ends meet. There was a spark of something, though she couldn't identify what it was. Later that evening, after Jamie had gone to bed, Leela sat on the couch with a glass of wine, staring at her phone. The message was still open, a simple blue bubble glowing against the dark screen. Asterisk, what is your idea of chaos? Asterisk. She bit her lip, contemplating her response. Should she keep it light? Or invite a deeper conversation? Asterisk, well, it usually involves a lot of glitter and a stubborn 7-year-old. Asterisk. Almost instantly, his reply came through. Asterisk sounds like the makings of a masterpiece. I'd love to join in a chaos. Asterisk. Leela's heart raced at his easygoing banter. Asterisk, you realize you're signing up for a potential disaster. Asterisk. Asterisk, disasters make the best stories. I am in. Asterisk. An unexpected thrill coursed through her, and she felt a sense of connection swelling. It was refreshing to flirt with the possibilities of life outside of her daily grind. Asterisk, okay. When are you free? Asterisk. Asterisk, how about this weekend? ILL, bring the glitter. Asterisk. Leela laughed softly, imagining the mess they could create. Asterisk, deal. But you were responsible for the cleanup. Asterisk. Asterisk, you tried a hard bargain, Leela. Asterisk. And for the first time in a long while, Leela felt a flutter of excitement about the weekend ahead. Saturday arrived, and Leela buzzed with anticipation, her nerves tinged with uncertainty. Jamie was squealing with delight at the prospect of having a guest to help with his art project. Leela set out snacks on the table, a mix of fruit and some cookies, hoping to impress Ivan. Jamie's infectious energy filled the apartment as he bounced back and forth, making it feel livelier than usual. When the doorbell rang, Leela's stomach flipped. She opened the door to reveal Ivan, holding a colorful bag filled with art supplies. He wore a casual white shirt that clung to his frame, a contrast to his dark jeans. Ready for chaos? He asked with a grin that made her heart skip. Always. Jamie chimed in, his enthusiasm contagious. Alright, what is the plan? Ivan asked, stepping inside, his eyes scanning the small but cozy apartment. Art explosion, Leela declared, waving a hand dramatically. We allow make the messiest masterpieces possible. Count me in. Ivan replied, clearly amused by Jamie's energy. They gathered around the dining table, transforming it into an art station. Leela marveled at how easily Ivan slipped into the dynamic, playing along with Jamie's wild imagination. As they painted and created, the atmosphere shifted from playful to tender. Leela caught Ivan watching her in moments when Jamie was preoccupied, a soft gaze that made her pulse race. "You were really good at this," he said quietly, leaning close as he studied a swirl of colors merging on the canvas. "Thanks, I've always loved art," she replied, feeling the space between them shrink. It is a way to express what is hard to say. "Like feelings?" he asked, and his voice held a hint of gravity that pulled her in. "Exactly," she said, a shiver of vulnerability running through her. She could feel the chemistry building, but fear tugged at her heart. "But it is complicated for me." "What do you mean?" Ivan asked, his brow furrowing as he searched her eyes. "I am a single mom," she admitted, her heart racing. "It is not easy to let someone in when there is so much at stake." "I get it," he replied seriously, his expression softening. "But sharing joy and creativity doesn't take away from your responsibilities, it can add to them." Leela studied him, his sincerity shining through the lightheartedness of moments before. "You really think so?" "I know so," he said, his voice steady. "And I get that it is scary, but what is life without a little risk?" Before she could respond, Jamie interrupted, proudly displaying his messy canvas. "Look, it is a monster explosion." Ivan laughed, the tension dissipating. "That is amazing, Jamie. Can I add to it?" "Sure." Jamie beamed, his face lighted up as they both leaned over the paper. Leela watched them, her heart swelling with affection. Ivan had effortlessly entered her world, bringing a sense of lightness that made her heart flutter. But as they painted, a knot of doubt lingered in her mind. Could she truly allow herself to explore this connection? What would it mean for her and Jamie? As the afternoon drifted into evening, the chaos of paint and laughter filled the apartment. Yet, beneath the surface, Leela felt a conflict brewing between her growing feelings for Ivan and the protective instinct she felt towards her son. When the sun began to set, casting a warm glow through the windows, Jamie's laughter filled the room as he proclaimed, "This is the best day ever." Leela smiled, but her gaze drifted to Ivan, where a flicker of something deeper passed between them. "I am glad you came today," she said softly, her voice barely above a whisper. "Me too," he replied, his tone sincere and warm. "But I'd love to do this again, just the two of us." Her heart raced, the invitation hanging in the air like a promise. But the reality of her life loomed over her like a cloud. "Ivan, let us take it slow," he interrupted gently, sensing her hesitation. "No pressure, just two people enjoying life, no expectations." Lila felt a warmth bloom in her chest at his understanding. "That sounds nice." As they cleaned up, Ivan caught her eye, and the connection between them felt electric. The idea of stepping into something new, letting go of the past, and embracing uncertainty had never felt so tantalizing. But as Jamie's laughter echoed around them, Lila knew the path ahead wouldn't be without its challenges. And as much as she wanted to venture into the unknown, she felt the weight of protecting her heart and Jamie's bearing down on her. Chaos might be calling, she thought, glancing at Ivan, who was chatting animatedly with Jamie. But so was responsibility. In that moment, she realized the journey ahead might be complicated, but it was one worth exploring. As her heart fluttered with hope and fear, Lila knew that sometimes embracing chaos was the only way to truly live. As Lila stood in the sun-drenched kitchen, the remnants of their art explosion scattered across the table, she couldn't help but glance at Ivan. He was bent over Jamie's painting, adding his own touches with a careful precision that seemed to indicate not just skill, but a deep reverence for the moment. The way he interacted with her son was a glimpse into the kind of man he was, gentle, attentive, and playful, but there was something else simmering beneath the surface that made her pulse quicken. "Hey, look at this!" Jamie exclaimed, holding up his canvas like it was a trophy. "It's the best monster explosion ever." The pride in his voice warmed Lila's heart, and for a fleeting moment she envisioned a world where Ivan fit seamlessly into their lives. "Absolutely brilliant," Ivan replied, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "You've captured the essence of chaos perfectly." He turned to Lila, a teasing smile on his lips. "I think we've found our master artist here." Jamie beamed, soaking in the praise. "Can you be my assistant next time, Ivan?" "Anytime, buddy," Ivan replied, ruffling Jamie's hair. Lila's heart melted at the sight, yet that gnawing feeling of uncertainty lingered, a reminder of the boundaries she had carefully constructed around her life. Once Jamie was distracted with a new round of paint colors, Lila leaned closer to Ivan, her voice lowered to a whisper. "You're really good with him. It's like you've known him forever." "Kids are easy to read," Ivan replied, his gaze penetrating yet playful. "And Jamie has a spark. It is infectious." Lila's smile, warmth spreading through her. "He is special. He needs someone to understand him." Ivan's expression shifted slightly, a flicker of vulnerability passing through his eyes. "I get that. Grown-ups can be just as complicated, though." He paused, studying her. "So, what do you need?" She hesitated, feeling the weight of his question settle heavily in the air. "I need to know that I can let someone in without it complicating things." His brow furrowed. "You think I am going to complicate your life?" "No, it's just I have Jamie to think about, and I don't want to drag him into something messy." The truth slipped out, and Lila felt exposed. "I am not here to complicate things. I want to be part of the fun," he replied, his voice steady but softened with sincerity. The way he spoke, with a sense of purpose, sent shivers down her spine. A sudden thought struck her. "But what would it mean for us? I mean, what is this, really? You seem so different from anyone I've met." Ivan paused, his expression thoughtful. "What do you mean by different?" "Rich, successful, carefree. I am, well, a single mom, juggling work and a million responsibilities." She studied his face, searching for judgment, but finding only understanding. "You think I can relate?" he asked, a hint of challenge in his tone. "I didn't say that," she responded quickly, feeling defensive. "But our worlds feel so different. Yet here we are," he pointed out, a soft smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "I don't care about the money or the status. I care about the connection we have. Is that so strange?" Lila felt the warmth pooling in her chest again, but with it came a rush of doubt. "It is not strange. It is just unexpected. The life is full of surprises." He leaned closer, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "And I am in for the adventure if you are." Before she could reply, Jamie appeared, his hands coated in bright hues of orange and green. "Look, I made a monster rainbow explosion." "Epic," Ivan exclaimed, clapping his hands together. "You're a genius, Jamie." Watching their exchange, Lila felt a pang of longing. This is the joy she wanted for both her son and herself. The playful banter, the ease with which Ivan engaged with Jamie was a glimpse of a world that felt tantalizingly close yet terrifyingly far. Just then, Leela's phone buzzed on the counter and she walked over to check it. The message was from her sister, Jessica, asking about the weekend plans. Leela's stomach twisted, thoughts of family, obligations, and reality creeping back in. "Everything okay?" Ivan asked, noticing her change in demeanor. "It's just my sister," Leela replied, her tone flat. "She is checking in on me." "Family?" "Yeah, she is always worried about me, about Jamie," Leela admitted, the frown deepening. "She thinks I am not doing enough." "Are you?" Ivan asked, his brow arching with genuine curiosity. "It doesn't matter what I think," Leela said, a hint of frustration coloring her voice. "Family always seems to have an opinion. Perhaps they were just concerned." Ivan took a step closer, his voice dropping to a softer tone. "What do you want?" "I want..." Her voice faltered, the truth weighing heavily. "I want to be happy, but I need to protect Jamie. I can't afford to mess this up." "You want tea," he said, a fierce conviction in his tone. "Well, I'll navigate it, like you always do." Just then, Jamie tripped over an errant paintbrush, sending a splash of cerulean blue flying onto the table. "Oops," he laughed, and Leela felt the tension snap as Ivan burst into laughter, his deep voice resonating in the small space. "I think we've created a new masterpiece," Ivan declared, gesturing dramatically at the colorful chaos. "What do you call this one, Jamie?" "Monster Disaster." Jamie shouted gleefully, and laughter surged through Leela as she joined in. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold, the laughter and creativity filled the room. But even amidst the joy, a weight of her doubts lingered like a shadow. Later, as Jamie settled into bed, Leela stood outside his room, a mixture of contentment and worry swelling within her. "Good night, Jamie. Sweet dreams." "Good night, Mommy," he replied, his voice muffled by the comforter. Turning back to the living room, Leela found Ivan cleaning up the remnants of the chaotic art session. "You didn't have to do that," she said, watching him with a mix of admiration and appreciation. "I wanted to. It was fun," Ivan replied, his voice warm. "And I am a firm believer in creating order out of chaos." She leaned against the door frame, heart fluttering as he glanced up, his eyes locking onto hers. "You really are something," she said softly, feeling the moment stretch. "I could say the same about you." He stepped closer, their proximity igniting the air between them with undeniable tension. "You are an incredible mom, Leela." "Thank you," she whispered, feeling the heat rise in her cheeks. "That means a lot." Ivan hesitated, his gaze searching hers, and in that moment, Leela felt the world around them fade away. It was just them, the electric connection crackling in the space between. "Leela, can I..." Before he could finish, Jimmy called from his room. "Mommy." The moment shattered, and Leela pulled away, her heart racing from the abrupt interruption. "I'll be right there," she shouted back, the sudden rush of practicality crashing down on the fragile connection they forged. Ivan took a step back, the playful tension dissipating as Jamie flung open his door. "What is wrong?" "Nothing, buddy, just checking on you." Leela offered a reassuring smile, but her heart was still pounding from the moment with Ivan. As she walked back to Jamie's room, she felt Ivan's presence lingering in the air around her. Would they ever have the chance to explore what lay beneath the surface? The question nagged at her, intertwining with her desire for connection and the fears of what that connection might mean. Once Jamie was settled again, Leela returned to the living room, but Ivan had stepped outside onto the small balcony. She joined him, the cool night air wrapping around them like a shroud. "Sorry about that," she said, leaning against the railing. "Kids have perfect timing." "Don't apologize," Ivan replied, his tone easy. "Life has its interruptions, right?" "Right," she agreed, her heart racing with the unspoken words lingering between them. "Leela, I want to be here whatever that looks like. I am not trying to complicate your life. He paused, searching for the right words. "I want to explore this connection. I like you." Her breath hitched, a rush of hope and fear colliding. "I like you too, Ivan, but I am terrified." "The terrified means you care," he said, his gaze unwavering. "We can figure this out together, step by step. No pressure." Step by step. The phrase echoed in her mind, resonating with the rhythm of her heart. Maybe she could let herself embrace this chaos, with the understanding that she didn't have to. The moon hung high above the city, casting silvery light over the small balcony where Leela and Ivan stood, the night thick with unspoken words and burgeoning feelings. Leela leaned against the railing, the cool metal grounding her, while her heart raced in response to Ivan's presence beside her. Terrified means you care, he had said, as she wondered if that was true. But the weight of responsibility sat heavy on her shoulders as she couldn't ignore the reality of her life. She turned her gaze to the cityscape, where headlights flickered like fireflies in the distance, a reminder of the world outside her small bubble. I know I am probably coming on too strong, Ivan said, breaking the silence. His voice was low, almost a whisper, as if he were afraid the night might eavesdrop on them. But the connection we have, it feels rare. Leela felt her half flutter at the sincerity in his eyes. It is just I haven't let someone in for a long time. Jamie is my priority, and I am afraid of complicating things. She forced the confession out, every word a small weight lifted from her chest. I understand, Ivan replied, taking a small step closer. But I want to be a part of that world you're protecting. I don't want to replace anyone, just to... He paused, as if choosing his words carefully. Just to be a friend, a safe space. A safe space, she echoed, letting the phrase linger in the air. It was comforting, but could it encompass the chemistry that crackled between them? How do I know this isn't just a whim, that you're not just being kind? He reached out, gently brushing a strand of hair behind her ear, a gesture so tender it made her shiver. Because I am here, Leela, I am not going anywhere. His eyes searched hers, layers of emotion swelling in their depths. But I can be just a friend if you don't want me to be. The air between them thickened, tension rising like a tide. Leela's breath quickened as she felt the pull of his gaze, the unspoken desire that danced just out of reach. I want to want more, she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. But I don't want to hurt Jamie. It is not about hurting him, Ivan said softly, his intention clear. It is about showing him what joy looks like, about letting him see you happy. His words resonated within her, a comforting balm to her fears. But the image of Jamie's wide, innocent eyes flashed in her mind, a reminder of why she built walls around her heart. It is just if this doesn't work out, I don't want him to feel caught in the middle. I never want that for him, Ivan replied, his expression earnest. But you can let fear hold you back from something beautiful, Leela. I want to make you happy. She met his gaze, heart racing at the promise hanging in the air. But are you sure you know what you're signing up for? I come with a lot of baggage. I am not afraid of baggage, he said, a small smile playing at the corner of his mouth. I am here for the whole journey, Leela, all the chaos, all the beauty. His words hung between them, laced with an honesty she hadn't expected. Leela took a deep breath, the moment stretching, and for the first time she felt the weight of her hesitation begin to lift. I want to believe that, she confessed, her voice trembling slightly. But I need to know you want to run away at the first sign of trouble. Then let us take it slow, he suggested, his tone gentle. No rush, just be in the moment with me. She nodded, feeling a tide of hope wash over her. The idea of taking it slow felt like a lifeline, a way to explore the connection they shared without overwhelming her or Jamie. Okay, let us see where this takes us. Ivan smiled then, a soft grin that lit up his features, and Leela felt her own lips curve in response. I do like that. As they stood there, the warmth of the night enveloped them, and she could see the path ahead shift subtly, like shadows in the fading light. But just as she thought they were finally on the same page, Jamie's voice broke through the moment again. Mommy, he called, his small figure appearing in the doorway. Can I have a glass of water? Leela sighed, turning away from Ivan, her heart sinking slightly at the interruption. Of course, sweetie, I'll be right there, she replied, her tone brightening for Jamie's sake. As she moved to go inside, Ivan placed a hand on her arm, stopping her momentarily. We were not done talking, he murmured, his eyes holding her gaze with an intensity that sent butterflies dancing in her stomach. I know, she said, her heart racing at the promise of their unfinished conversation. But he needs me. Of course, Ivan replied, releasing her arm slowly, though the warmth of his touch lingered. Good night then, Jamie, he called out, his voice cheerful as he stepped back into the apartment. Good night, Ivan. Jamie chirped, his innocent excitement filling the air. Leela filled a glass with water, her thoughts racing as she returned to her son. Jamie sipped happily, oblivious to the unspoken tension that had just filled the balcony. What were you and Ivan talking about? He asked, his curiosity piqued. It's just adult things, she said lightly, avoiding his gaze. You know how it is. Like boring stuff. Jamie teased, and Leela laughed, ruffling his hair. Something like that, she replied, finishing off her own glass of water. But I think he is going to be around more. Yay. Jamie cheered, his bright smile infectious. I liked him. He is funny. She smiled back, a warmth spreading through her as she watched her son's enthusiasm. I am glad you liked him. But as the evening wore on, a knot of uncertainty tightened in her stomach. What if Jamie got too attached? What if Ivan didn't stay? When Jamie finally settled into bed, Leela tucked him in, her heart heavy with the weight of conflicting emotions. Good night, sweet boy, she whispered, placing a soft kiss on his forehead. Good night, Mommy, he replied, snuggling into his pillow. As she walked back to the living room, she found Ivan cleaning up the last remnants of their art project. The sight of him, attractive and easygoing, made her pulse quicken again. He didn't have to do all this, Leela said, feeling grateful yet guilty. I wanted to, Ivan replied, his eyes meeting hers with a warmth that melted her worries away. It was fun, plus I owe you a clean kitchen after the monster explosion. She chuckled softly, but a sense of seriousness crept back in. I appreciate it, really, but I still feel like I am dragging you into my chaos. Chaos is exactly what I signed up for, he countered, stepping closer, the tension between them palpable. And I am genuinely enjoying every second, I want you to know that. Even if it includes a 7-year-old and glitter explosions. Leela asked, a teasing lilt to her voice, though her heart raced at the thought of what it would mean to let him in completely. Especially that, he replied, a gleam in his eyes. I like kids, and I want to get to know Jamie, he is a part of you. Leela felt the warmth of his words settle in her chest. I want that too, she said softly, her gaze unwavering. But we need to take it slow. Absolutely, Ivan agreed, and she felt a flicker of relief. Let us just enjoy each moment, no pressure. In that instant, something shifted between them, a silent understanding that made the night feel electric with possibility. Let us start with me showing you how to make a proper sandwich, Leela said, her playful tone returning. Ivan raised an eyebrow, amusement dancing in his eyes. A proper sandwich? I am intrigued. Oh, just wait, she replied, feeling lighter now. You LLC, if Jamie approves, then you're really in. As they moved to the kitchen, laughter flowed easily between them, each shared moment easing the tension that had built throughout the evening. But as Leela sliced the bread, her heart echoed with a weight of uncertainty, a quiet reminder of the challenges ahead. Later, after the last crumbs were cleared away and their laughter still lingered in the air, Leela turned to Ivan, the moment feeling precious. So, what is next for our chaotic adventure? I am up for anything, he replied with a grin. But let us not forget our masterpiece. I want to see Jamie's monster rainbow explosion in its full glory. Leela laughed. I think you've earned the title of master assistant, but first, we need to plan a gallery visit. I want you to see my world. I'd love that, Ivan said, his voice sincere.